What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall market. I'm going to break down what's going on with Nvidia and the news that came out and what's happening with the charts to give you guys a very, very quick update. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total. And the offer ends very soon at the end of March. Anyways, right now, Nvidia is down about 16%. It's losing the support around that 120 area. So it's very much just struggling so far, continuing to get hammered after the big news came out. As a quick reminder, there's this Chinese company known as DeepSeek that came out. They released an R1, which is an AI model that's going to be rivaling other companies, ChatGPTs, and other AI developments. So that's very important. With that coming out, they claim that they built a ChatGPT like model that has capabilities that actually surpass it, and they built that for under like $6 million. So they claim that. We can't know for sure about how much it truly cost them, at least just yet. We can't like verify those numbers. But what I will tell you is that they did technically do this on an open source code, which means that we could compare it to ChatGPT, and we could actually tell that it's very sophisticated, it's very advanced, and that is something that has been confirmed. So that's leading to a lot of questions about the US's dominance in the AI sector. The US is known for being very much ahead of other countries. Nvidia, these companies like Nvidia are just developing these AI chips, and then you also have companies like OpenAI all coming together. We have Microsoft and the others all working together to develop these insanely amazing pieces of technology. But the US's dominance is now something that's at question right now about that. And that's what's causing this really, really big sell off so far. So moving forward, there's not really any significant data coming out for the rest of the day. But what do I see, at least from this point on, for the markets? That's the real question that remains. So Nvidia is trying to hold 120. It's very weak. So let's see if we can hold 120 or not. That aligns with this previous resistance becoming support. And it's going to be a very, very key level for the way we end up continuing. So if I bring this support right over here, we have this like 120 area that's going to be, very key for us. If we can't hold that, so we're going to be looking for this low right here around this like the 117.5 area is going to be like our next support below that. And then if we try to bounce, we're going to be looking for an attempt to get back up towards the 122 plus area. So watch and see if we get that bounce or not, if we could hold 120. But just know that one thing about Nvidia that's worth mentioning is that there is still a lot of weakness. So please be very, very careful with it. This is what's dictating the market right now, and it's very important to watch and see how well this holds up. I believe what's going to happen is we're going to shuffle a bit here, and we'll have to see where we base. We're just waiting to see that official bounce, that base that's going to form eventually. It could be close to 120, maybe a little bit below that. So we'll see for now. And wherever that thing bases, wherever this thing ends up bouncing is going to affect when the market bounces. SPY is trying to get bought back up, but just notice that we're struggling to break past like that 600 area. We dumped quite a bit. We came back up at 600 is what I want to see it break to really start pushing for 602 and eventually try to fill this gap. If we can't do that, so we're looking at support around this 595 area. If that fails, let's look for 593, then eventually back down to 590. And if 590 fails us, we have a gap to fill to 584. So we're stuck between these levels. I want to see us break 600 to start really pushing. And if we lose 595, we could be dumping even more. Otherwise, we're just stuck in a range for now between these levels. So it's kind of range bound. There's a lot of shuffling going on with SPY. What I mean by that is this. So if you look at like the 5 minutes time frame, SPY was just going up and down, up and down, up and down, just shuffling in this range. So it's just range bound for now until we see one of these levels break. We're just stuck. So give it some time. We'll see if we can surpass 600 later on. Otherwise, we're just in this range. Same thing with the QQQ. It pumped a bit, dipped a bit, pumped, dipped. It's just going back and forth as well. This is showing more weakness than SPY because of Nvidia and these tech stocks. So just keep that in mind. On the 4 hour, I want to see this thing essentially reclaim 518. If we reclaim 518, we could be bouncing for the 520s. If we can't, we're looking at this like 508-ish area. If that fails us, we could be dipping lower. So we're stuck right now. We're just stuck between our key levels. We have 514 as our first resistance, and we have support very close to about that 5, a little bit under 510. We're stuck in the middle. We're just shuffling, so give it some time to develop. On the IWM Russell 2000, Russell is looking decent. It wants to try to reclaim 227.5. If we reclaim that, we could be trying to push back up towards just under 229. So I could see a small bounce on this. This is not selling off as hard as the others because this is more dictated by small caps, not as much by Nvidia and the others. For ES, there's weakness right here. We got to try to reclaim 6,050 to start bouncing. If we can't reclaim that, I'm watching 6,020 as a key level, very close to our 200 EMA. We'll be watching to see if we shuffle here and if we get a rejection off 6,020. If we can't hold above 6,020, we're going to be at risk of returning to 6,059.80. And if we break past 6,050, we could try to bounce. As of right now, we're just shuffling, but there is still some weakness on this chart, so just be careful. For NQ, we're on a bit of a downtrend here. We'll have to see if we can reclaim 21,500 or not. If we reclaim this, this could try to bounce. And if we can't, we're looking at support right over here around this 21,000 area. So if that fails us, we could be dipping all the way down to about 20,800. So give this the time it needs. Now we're on a bit of a downtrend so far. We tried to rebound. We were not able to break past our 200 EMA, so we're rejecting again. So this could be dipping back down to 21,000 or so. So watch that very, very closely. I think there's going to be a risk of this dipping closer to 21,000. So give this the time it needs. For Bitcoin, we're in this range right now. We have to see if we could try to break past 99,800. If we lose this, we could be dipping back down to about 98,000. If we break past 100 and 1,000, we could attempt to rebound. We're in a range here, but there's still some weakness because we're struggling to hold very, very nicely above our 200 EMA. So I see a little bit of weakness on this chart. For others, we have Tesla. Tesla's attempting to rebound. I want to see it hold above 400 to really start bouncing. If we can't break 400, we're at risk of returning to 395, if anything. If that fails us, I'm looking for a move back down to about 390. Then, we also have our key support at our 200 EMA at 383. We're in between these levels. Tesla's trying to get back above 400, but just be careful because Nvidia has not truly based yet. We're going to give it more time to develop. Aapl, of all things, is still more bullish. We're looking for a break of 230.8 for this thing to really start pushing to these higher levels. I think it's looking bullish. It could try to break that, and it's looking very strong, so it could try to outperform the market. Coin is trying to base at 274. If we hold that, we're looking for a bounce to 283. If we lose the 274s, we're going to be starting to dip back down to about 268. So watch that very, very closely. On Amzn, we got a rejection or retest. We got to get back above 233 and then 235 to bounce. If we can't, this is going to show some more weakness and start dipping to 231. And then if that fails us, I'm looking for essentially 228. So be careful. There's still that risk of downside unless we reclaim our key levels. Meta's tried to hold 650. If we hold that, we're looking for 660 as our target. If 650 fails us, we could be dipping lower. So we'll see if we end up hitting a bounce or not. Microsoft is in the middle. It dipped quite a bit. It's trying to rebound. It might be trying to get back up to about 430. We'll have to see if we break past it or not. But I see somewhat of a bounce coming. Google's in the middle. It may attempt to get back up to 196.8, but we'll see if it rejects or not. So give that some time as well. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. The market is still showing weakness. We're seeing SPY trying to get bought up a bit, but we haven't broken past 600 yet. I think we're going to see a lot of shuffling between a very, very nice range for the time being. Nvidia is still showing weakness. We have not truly based yet, so give it time, and we'll see how this ends up developing. With that being said, I thank you all for listening. Have a good rest of your day, and peace out.